we are excited about that coverage. Let's dive here into the Michigan High School Soccer Coaches Association Week 4 high school rankings. We'll start here in Division 4.
Oh, Division 4.
Yeah, always go 4. 4 always goes first. Right? At least
I had one queued up.
So Liggett continues to hold there at number 1. They are 7-0. They remain perfect, typically enough to hold the top line. Chasing the pack is Plymouth Christian at number 2, and Grenville Calvin Christian, who's 9-2-2, keeping that pressure on, while Lansing Christian 9-2 stays within striking distance. The quality climbers here, the Relic Shrine, are 10-1. They look like a riser on a sheer volume of wins. Roper is 8-1, fits the same profile, just outside the top 10. Honorable mentions: Clinton, Maple City, Glen Lake. They both have pretty good records. Clinton's 10-1. Maple City Glen is 8-2. They hit the top 5: Liggett, Plymouth Christian, North Muskegon, Calvin Christian, Lansing Christian. So there are your top 15 high school boys rankings here for Division 4. Take a look here now at Division 3. As we dive into that, Country Day still stays atop the pack there. They're 11-1-1. Pontiac Notre Dame Prep is 6-1-4, and Flint Powers Catholic 9-2-2. Headline obviously the top 3. They've been that way for a number of weeks now. Momentum teams: Elk Rapids 8-2-3, and Ann Arbor Green Hills 5-1. Both own quality wins and a few blemishes. Classic and Greens for a 1-2-3 line nudge. Again, you see them there in the top 5. Middle churn coming, though. The 7-13 band is tight. Swan Valley 6-2-1. Grand Rapids Catholic Central's 4-2-2. And they're separated by thin margins. Any single result could obviously reshuffle that group. Honorable mentions: Ovid Elsie is 10-1. Fenville 6-2-2. Look most ready to maybe break in. Again, Country Day, Notre Dame Prep, Flint Powers Catholic, Elk Rapids, and Green Hills are all in the top 5.
And so I'm being around the Mount Pleasant area. I'm recognizing some of these schools. Freeland, that was about 40 minutes from Mount Pleasant. Alma, that's about 20 minutes from Mount Pleasant. So good to see the middle of the state getting some love. And I will say, Grozeal, number 8, my mom's side of the family, does not like. They had a little bit of a rivalry with them. So downriver as well.
So as we continue on now here into Division 2, we see here that Unity Christian, Hudsonville Unity Christian, co-headliners, right? Along with Forest Hill Central. We had Paul Kramer here on the show here a few weeks back. Paul Kramer's a great coach, great team there.
Had a great backdrop as well for that interview.
They are 12-0-2, and for Hudsonville Unity Christian is 7-0-2. They have the volume to win, the volumes of wins to argue for number 1, but expect a photo finish here at the end of this as both these teams look to stay clean. Climbing profiles on New Boston here on 10-1-1, and Warren De La Salle 10-3. Read like they're steady risers, while Cranbrook Kingswood is 7-1. And continue to round into shape. The watch list, though: Edwardsburg 8-1, Allendale 8-2-0, have records that typically squeeze programs up in the 8-12 range. Your honorable mentions: Hamilton 8-2-1, Melvindale 7-2-1, carry next in resumes. Again, your top 5: Hudsonville Union Christian, Forest Hill Central, New Boston, Huron, Warren, De La Salle, and Cranbrook Kingswood, all in the top 5 there for Division 2. Take a look here now at your Division 1. For the Michigan High School Boys Soccer Coaches Association rankings. Portage Central continues to set the pace. They're 11-0-2. They headline the pack with Ann Arbor Huron 9-0-1 and Clarkston 9-1, anchoring a firm top 3. That trio looks every bit like regional number 1 seeds in the waiting. Trending up here is Heartland 13-0-1, has the state's loudest unbeaten drum. Results like that typically buy upward mobility even near the top 5. Solid resumes, though. Traverse City West is 10-1-2. Byron Center 10-2-1. Carry double-digit win totals and profiles that usually nudge programs a line or two higher week to week. On the bubble, dangerous honorable mentions: Saginaw Heritage is 12-1. Livonia Stevenson is 9-1, and both look poised to re-enter or jump within the 15 if form holds. Your top 5: Portage Central, Ann Arbor Huron, Clarkston, Okemos, and who's 8-1. Now, here's the thing, too, I think is important. Royal Oak, by the way, sitting there at number 6. This is a team that plays in the OAA White. They've beaten Troy Athens, and they've had a lot of success here going on here in the early going. That is a team that was not ranked here 2 weeks ago. They bounced in last week, and now Here they sit at number 6. So they're officially in the top 10. That is a superior rating for that team.
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams that you kind of see always around Traverse City West. UD Jesuit, we had Aaron File was his name, correct? Yeah, had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Shout out to him, his side doing really good. I know they came off an impressive win right before he came on the show, and then Romeo had a chance to play them a handful of times. They're always a tough side to beat, but shout out to the MAC as well. But there is some really, really good teams that I played against while in high school as well. So these are some really good schools, and it's always a very, very tough division in Division I, just like all these divisions. But Division I, definitely the toughest one, I would say.
Royal Oak right now this season, they are 9-1-0. They've beaten Novi. They've beaten Birmingham Groves. They've beaten Grosse Pointe South. They've beaten Farmington. They lost to Country Day, who's currently ranked number 1 in Division III. They lost by a score of 1-0. They beat Rochester 3-0. They beat Brighton 5-1. They beat Troy Athens 2-0. They beat Farmington 8-0, and they've beaten Rochester Adams 3-0. They face Bloomfield Hills here tomorrow, Stony Creek on Thursday, and then on Saturday they face Birmingham Seaholm. So,
and that was just Royal Oak?
That's just Royal Oak.
Wow.
This is a team that, I mean, and a couple years ago, they were having a really good season. They ended up losing to Berkeley in a district semifinal match. We actually covered that on our platform. But I'm very interested to see how this thing will shake out. But Royal Oak, man, they might be a sleeper team here. I mean, it's a really good team. So it's a very interesting way. They're currently right now, if I look at their MPR, they're 637. I'm curious how that ranks amongst the rest of the MPR right now.
But that's a really impressive resume. That is some really good teams that they have beaten and defeated and played, and that's what I've always liked kind of with as a high school coach is the coaches that kind of schedule the tougher out of conference. Tougher non-conference games because ultimately, again, you make the playoffs regardless, and that's a different argument. But kind of playing those tough teams, kind of setting that bar, kind of knowing what your team's level is going forward, and you can kind of work on things as the season goes on because you got to win. Tournament starts in October. Playoffs start in October, so you got to start winning in middle October. That's where you kind of make all your money and is in the playoffs, and playing those tough teams early on kind of gives you a little bit of a benefit because you get to know where your team's at, what the level that ultimately you need to get to in order for you to win titles and win districts, regionals, and eventually a state championship.
So Joshua Irwin on YouTube was just stating that watch out for Royal Oak. Yes, sir. No open play goals allowed so far.
Wow.
If you look at so far, if I'm looking here right now, and I'm not going to necessarily add these up, but they allowed a goal against Detroit Country Day.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed a goal against Brighton.
Okay.
Every other game, they have not allowed a goal. And so that would mean that they would have so they're 9-1. So that means they have 8 shutouts then? They have 8 shutouts in their 10 games and have only allowed 2 goals. Meanwhile, 3, 6, 10, 13, 18, 28, 31 goals for.
They have a plus 29 goal difference in 10 games?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's I'd like to see these guys up in person then. This is if they're as good as advertised, I'd like to have a chance to watch them play, but that's a really impressive resume. And not only the teams that they beat, but how they're doing it. No open play goals all season long. I imagine those are probably PKs. I would imagine they are. But, man, that is still an impressive feat for them.
It is. Again, they play tomorrow night at 7:15 at Royal Oak, and then they play at Stony Creek here on Thursday at 7 p.m., and then they have a noon kickoff against Seaholm at Seaholm on the 20th. So, yes, they are rolling right now, and we appreciate your comment, Josh Irwin, nonetheless.
Shout out.
Hey, if you want us to come out to your game, let us know. Our rates are very reasonable, and we could absolutely come out. We would put it on our YouTube channel, MI Sports Network. It'd also go to the NFHS Network, but we could absolutely call that game. We've already called the Bloomfield Hills High School game. We started this whole network based on high school games and the amateur environment. And obviously, we've grown into a much larger platform now where we're covering games all across the country. doesn't mean we still can't come out to you. So if you'd like to have us cover your game, by all means.